welcome to episode 2 of Sweat to Inspire, where I, Todd Block, a seventh grade science teacher, am sharing inspirations and sweats that educators and parents and anybody that wants to help our youth move forward and be successful need to focus our efforts. So, every episode, I'm going to start off with a book recommendation. So, my book recommendation this week, and this is one I recently have been reading slowly in small segments, maybe different chapters, but it's Elephant in the Classroom by a friend of mine named Andrew Maxey. It is talking about the complexity of teaching and looking at the 13 practices that make up one of the world's hardest jobs, education. And we shouldn't say just world's hardest jobs, because a lot of jobs are hard in different ways, but there are so many variables that go into education, and he's narrowed it down to 13 and done extensive research, and he talks about it with such accuracy. And he's talking about how many different things the teacher's doing to find success. And one of these things going wrong or having problems can create struggles. So it's a really good read. It's thick, it's dense, it's a lot, really heavy research in it. So it's not one of these ones you read quick. It's not thick, but the ideas are deep. And I think reading through each one of the complexities is important. And that's where I am right now. I'm reading through it slowly, so I focus on the ideas that are presented. But I really enjoy so much what I've read so far. And I think it's important to think about the complexities that are in this job of education, because it's not just being in this classroom and just having content knowledge. There's so much more to it than that. I think some people think, well, if they know it, and I think reading this will help you understand why a lot of educators are very concerned with the bills that are passing right now that allow just anybody who has a high school diploma to be a guest teacher in our classrooms. We understand there's staffing issues nationwide. We understand the importance of having adults in the classrooms, but there's a lot of skills that go into the classroom. And in the next segment, when I talk about my big idea for the day, you might understand why those complexities are important. So the book, I recommend every educator, everybody who is evaluating teachers, everybody who writes policy about education reads this book, The Elephant in the Classroom. Very important book by Andrew Maxey. There'll be a link in the YouTube. So if you need it, there'll be a link to Amazon where you can order it as well. Okay, adults, so let's think about where we really need to sweat to model things for our students. And what I'm seeing right now, especially because of this COVID pandemic, as we look around us in society, it's our manners. Everywhere we go, we see adults behaving badly. So us as adults need, and students see that, right? Us behaving badly is definitely not a good model for the kids that are sitting in our classroom. I hear it all the time. It's like, oh, Mr. Block, you're too serious. And I'm like, hold it. I'm the teacher here. I'm talking to you about this. I do take things a little serious. I mean, I'm creating a Sweat to Inspire video and I do the student news, but my students need to remember that their purpose for coming to school is learning. Have those good interactions with your friends, but be respectful. And we have to model that all the time. And they see so many places on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, adults and other kids behaving a little rudely. And we just need to sort of make sure that when we're out in public, that we model it and we don't do the behaviors we don't like, right? As I talked last week about cell phones, as adults, we need to make sure we're not staring at it when a child is asking us a question. That's sort of rude of us. And then students will be staring at it when they're being asked a question, which I see a lot. It's like, hey, did you hear what I was asking you? We're working here. Come on. And They're like, "Oh, I don't know." Or, "Mr. Black, I didn't get the directions." It's like, "Oh, why not?" "Oh, got a text or something." So I'm really more concerned. We talked about cell phones last time. I'm more concerned about the rudeness that we have in our society. If we encounter something, we don't have to be rude. "Excuse me, my order's wrong. Could you please fix it? Thank you very much." Use our please and thank yous. Okay. Use that respectful tone and make sure that everybody around sees us. Sure, we're going to get upset, but I don't know. The last year, I've heard more swear words dropped by students because they're upset with with each other, and that can only come from watching adults. We do live in a different time where our students stream whatever they want. Where I grew up, we didn't even have cable. We had 4 channels, and they didn't show any of the bad stuff till after 10 o'clock at night. I guess that's showing my age. And now students tell me they don't even really watch TV. They just stream whatever they want, whenever they want on Netflix, HBO. So just think about the instant access that they have to anything they want. And yeah, it does seem a little bit more exciting to watch things that are confrontational versus the ho hum normal life. But we need to emphasize wherever we go that manners are really important. We need to be polite. When we accidentally bump into somebody, we say, "Excuse me." We need to, "Could I please have?" and "Thank you." And I try to do that in my classroom with everything. Even when I ask, "How are you doing?" and they go, "Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Mr. Black?" I say, "I'm doing great. Thank you." And that helps them see that those words are meaningful. And I also make sure I try to have positive interactions with my students on a regular basis, even if they're doing something that's disappointing. "Hey, I'm glad to see you're here today. How's things going? Yeah, why don't you finish that phone message that you're doing, text message you're doing? Then can we get it put away so we can focus on our learning today? Thank you very much." When we keep focusing on that positive and the using the words please and thank you and the manners that we have, it'll help our students see that. And I'm really talking, we need every adult, wherever you are. It's not just here. We can't make school one thing and expect our students to go out in society and see whatever they see, and school has to be held accountable for the manners, but the public doesn't. Our schools are a reflection of what's going on outside. So if the manners aren't occurring at the 7-Eleven when they go get their Slurpee, at the Tim Hortons when they go get a coffee, down the street at the Kroger, on TV, when they walk across the street, somebody's not yelling or honking the horn at them. If those manners aren't present in our society, they're not going to be existing in our schools. It's just like, when somebody drops something on the floor, I ask, "Hey, could you please pick that up?" And most common response when I ask a student in my hallway, "Hey, could you please pick that eraser or that paper off the floor?" I didn't drop it. Nowhere in my comment did I say, "You dropped it. I just want you to pick it up. Could you please pick it up, please? Thank you." I usually restate it, ask again, "Well, but could you pick it up? I know you didn't drop it. Thank you very much." And most of the time they do get it and they pick it up, and I make sure I say thank you so that they realize that. But we need to start doing that in our society. I feel that our society is gotten so rude and that we forget about those manners. And, I titled this Student Manners. It's really manners for life, because I preach to my students, and I'm not a preacher, but my mantra in my classroom is to find your success. You just need to show up. That's very important. Definitely. If you're not here, we don't know what you're doing. Work hard. Of course, that's important. We want you to make sure you do your work. But the third thing for success is not intelligence or learn as much as you can. It's be nice. It's on the end of every student news episode. Niceness gets you where you want to go. And I want to quote my cousin. He works with a lot of big clients doing video production. He says the people that find success in the business he's doing and that move up the ladder the quickest are the people that will take on any job and are nice to everybody else, because there's so many mean people in that industry. And that's so nice to know, because the nice people do finish first. So let's focus on that, and let's let our adult manners lead to positive student manners. And that's what will happen. So thanks for watching, and have a wonderful wonderful week. Keep sweating to inspire the youth of tomorrow. Take care.